You have probably heard the term antibiotic resistance before, and in this explanation we are going to explore exactly how it develops and why it is such a serious and growing concern for public health around the world. First, remember that antibiotics are a group of medicines that are specifically designed to kill bacteria without harming human cells, and one of the most famous examples is penicillin, which was the first antibiotic ever discovered, almost 100 years ago. However, due to our extensive and repeated use of antibiotics over the decades, certain types of bacteria have evolved to become resistant to them. So, how does this resistance actually happen? Imagine that you have a colony of bacteria inside your body, perhaps causing you a sore throat and a headache, so you visit your doctor, who prescribes you antibiotics. The intended effect is that these antibiotics enter your system, come into contact with the bacteria, and kill them off to cure your infection. However, like all living organisms, bacteria can undergo random mutations in their deoxyribonucleic acid, which can result in slight, but sometimes significant changes to their characteristics. Occasionally, one of these mutations allows a bacterium to survive the effects of the antibiotic, meaning it is no longer killed by the treatment. Although the antibiotic will kill most of the bacteria in your body, this one resistant bacterium will survive and begin to reproduce. Since bacteria reproduce incredibly rapidly, this resistant bacterium can form an entirely new colony made up of identical bacteria, all of which carry the gene that provides resistance. This results in a strain of bacteria that antibiotics no longer work against, and we call this an antibiotic-resistant strain. Unfortunately, since your infection has not been completely cured, you can now pass this new resistant strain on to other people. Then, when those people also seek medical treatment and are prescribed the same antibiotic that failed to work for you, it fails to work for them as well, forcing doctors to try a different antibiotic instead. While this alternative antibiotic might initially work for most people, the same cycle can repeat. A random mutation may again occur, leading to partial or complete resistance to the second antibiotic, resulting in the rise of a strain that resists multiple treatments. Over time, this process can continue until bacteria become resistant to many different types of antibiotics. These kinds of bacteria, which are resistant to several or even all available antibiotics, are referred to as superbugs. One well-known example is methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, also called MRSA, which is particularly dangerous because it is so hard to treat and is commonly found in hospitals, where it can spread quickly and even cause fatal infections. Although this may sound alarming, it is important to note that the development of antibiotic resistance is still relatively rare. And even when it does happen, it is often only partial resistance, meaning the antibiotic still has some effect. This is why it is so important to always complete the full course of antibiotics exactly as instructed by your doctor, even if you start to feel better partway through. If people stop taking their antibiotics early, the surviving bacteria are often the stronger ones, which increases the chances of resistance developing. The bigger issue, though, is that antibiotics are being overused on a global scale. Each year, it is estimated that humans use around 100,000 metric tons of antibiotics, and since 1 metric ton equals 1,000 kilograms, that means we are using an absolutely enormous quantity. One major reason for this overuse is that antibiotics are sometimes prescribed unnecessarily, such as in cases of viral infections, where antibiotics have no effect, or for mild illnesses that would resolve on their own. However, by far the most significant contributor to antibiotic overuse is the farming industry. Over 2/3 of the global antibiotic supply is used in agriculture, mostly given to animals that are not even sick. Farmers often include antibiotics in the feed of healthy livestock to prevent disease outbreaks and to promote faster growth, which creates the perfect environment for antibiotic-resistant bacteria to evolve and spread. These resistant bacteria can then be transmitted to humans through the food chain, further amplifying the problem. Scientists around the world are working hard to develop new antibiotics that can target these resistant bacteria, but the process is incredibly challenging and time-consuming. Developing a new antibiotic requires years of research, testing, and clinical trials, and even then, resistance may eventually evolve again. Therefore, controlling the spread of antibiotic resistance is not just about finding new drugs. It also requires us to use our existing antibiotics more responsibly and only when they are genuinely needed.